there, students. Mr. Young here. Welcome to day 1 in the book. We are starting not with chapter 1 or chapter 2, but chapter 3. And what are we going to talk about in chapter 3, Mr. Young, do you ask? Well, I'm going to let you know. Basically, it's the origin stories of the 13 colonies. Lesson 1 is the mystery of Roanoke. Roanoke's one of those great untold stories of history that is very mysterious in that it just disappeared. Like there was a guy in a boat, he left, there was a Roanoke colony, he came back 3 years later, everyone was gone. There was a word carved into a tree, nobody knows what happens. There are theories, some are pretty fun, like they were assimilated by tribes of Native Americans, but no one really knows for sure. All that was left was a carving in a tree that said Croatoan. So, we're going to learn about that in Jamestown in Lesson 1. Lesson 2 is basically the rest of the New England colonies like Pennsylvania and New York. And then 3, the middle colonies, and 4 is the southern colonies, things like North Carolina, South Carolina. So basically, each of the 13 colonies has its own story of why and how it began. Some of it was religious, some of it was basically a business venture. Georgia was made for debtors, people who owed money to get a fresh start. They all have their own sort of unique little story, and that's really what Chapter 3 focuses on. These are the 13 colonies, and this is who made it and why it exists. To start it off with the chapter, I have this nice little video. There's this thing called Crash Course in History, and this guy, while I don't agree with him 100% of the time, he makes it very interesting and makes you think about things and offers a very interesting perspective. It's very well done. So I'm going to be using his videos a lot. I really like them. Crash Course in History. And this one covers basically the colonies. Tomorrow you can pretty much count on vocabulary, so there'll be a vocabulary lesson followed by the vocabulary quiz, and then the next day we do lesson 1. The next day is lesson 2, lesson 3, and then lesson 4. Each lesson gets its own day. Then there'll be a test review day, followed by, of course, the test. Then we do it all again with chapter 4. There we go. So that's what we're looking at for the next week or so. So for today, no actual submission assignment. In the future, we'll probably have those Achieve 3000 lessons. We'll try to do those on chapter start days. But for now, just take a look at the video. If you feel like it, you might want to peruse the chapter. It begins here on page 57. It's not a bad idea to go ahead and read through that right now. So that's what we have for today. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a great day.